Yep.
Hey guys, Rob from eXp Australia. Just wanted to welcome you to this particular conversation we're having with Emily Morgan today. So Emily, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Rob.
So
Always a
Emily,
pleasure.
tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're located, and if you don't tell me enough, I'll ask you some more questions.
Okay. A little bit about myself, where I am located. I live in Melbourne, along Bayside, so in Parkdale. Stunning location, much like a little bit of your background there.
Yeah.
I've been in real estate for about 14 years, give or take.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, just it's a passion. Every time I think I'm not going to do it, it's got a way of dragging me right back in.
It's one of those careers, isn't it? You know, you might take a sidestep for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you think, oh no, it was much better over there.
You missed the adrenaline.
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely. So before you got into real estate, what were you doing?
Not a lot, in all honesty. I had left school.
Yeah.
I was a single mum, believe it or not, and I was working at a factory. And when I found out that I was pregnant, I made a really massive decision about my life and about my unborn child, and decided that who I was at that point in time wasn't who I wanted that little person to aspire to be. So changed the whole lot.
Brave. It's amazing to me how people can make those decisions, you know, like they might have been going down a path or whatever, and all of a sudden they get that new information that they've got a baby coming, and all of a sudden that motivation, that drive, whatever, just swings around and things change.
Oh, absolutely. It changed everything.
Yeah, as they do, and they continue to do. So,
they do.
Tell me about your first little experience in real estate. What kind of an office did you go to, or did you go to an office, or what did you do?
Well, actually, my first experience of real estate was pretty cool. I still actually speak to most people that I worked at that original office with. It was a Ray White office. It was very traditional, I guess, real estate, as it was back then. You didn't really have all the options available to you that you, I suppose, have now. Very much a 50-50 split. Very, very standard back at that point in time. It was a great experience. I learned a lot from some really key people who chose to take me under their wing. And yeah, it was very traditional. I guess one of the massive changes that I noticed now to then is, first of all, technology. So back then people were just switching over. Do you remember that card system for their database? Do you remember that?
That was the high-tech people. The other people just had a diary with the notes in it.
Yeah. When I joined, we were just sort of making that. We were also just starting the switch from what I call print media to internet. So that's a huge difference in real estate now today.
It is.
And then, of course, I moved countries. So
and that always helps you fit right in, doesn't it? When you have the cultural shift, you've got a bit of an accent like me, and then all of a sudden you're telling people, hey, look, you should choose me to represent you in the local marketplace.
You know what, though? One good thing that it did do is because I'm Kiwi, I do tend to speak quite fast. And also I have that accent that was very, very strong when I first came to the country. So I had a little bit of both. And when people would forget my name, they would just say, the girl that speaks fast with the accent.
I've had that.
So it made me memorable.
I've had that as a plus as well. We talked to the American guy. He might have been Canadian, but I think he was American.
I got too confused.
So no, that's good. So you started out selling houses, finding your own clients, and
absolutely.
Running buyers.
It was really about learning, getting stuck into creating relationships and adding value, and really cementing myself into the community and the schools and the sports facilities and the local groups and churches and communities. And was pretty special.
That's a lot different than a factory job.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. But I had a pretty powerful why, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's cool. And so now you're running the state for EXP Australia in Victoria. And so what an interesting challenge that is, because you've got big rural communities, and then you've got a very sophisticated urban community, and it's an interesting mix to be catering to both of those elements.
To be honest, because when you look at Melbourne City and the suburbs, very, very different expectation and way of doing business to what you would find if you were more rural or out in the country, which just means that I need to be able to help people to cater to each.
Yeah.
And given that I've actually worked in both, that probably helps.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Absolutely. No, that's good. That's good. And so we know that you're working for EXP. So I just want to ask you a little bit about, with your broad background, 14 years in real estate, describe what the EXP model is compared to the traditional model.
Oh, wow. Again, that's a little bit like chalk and cheese. I think one of the things that I'm really grateful for is watching the industry as it moves, as it evolves, and as it changes.
Yeah.
EXP is vastly different. I call it flipping the triangle. You usually will see a triangle where you've got your CEO or your person who owns the business or company at the top, and it all sort of filters down. Now, usually, forgive me for saying this, but the agents tend to be at the bottom of that pyramid.
Yeah.
Which, as an agent and somebody who works in corporate and leadership, doesn't really work that well for me.
Yep.
So
it's kind of the bottom of the pyramid funneling upwards.
Yeah, well, it's not even really a pyramid now that we have at EXP. They haven't even really flipped. It's more like a circle.
Yeah.
Where everybody has the same fair and equal opportunity.
Yeah.
That I love. I haven't seen that in very many other, I guess, models that I've seen out there. Yep. The other thing that I love about EXP is that it's a capped model, which again, I haven't seen a lot of a capped model where you only pay a certain amount per year to the company that you're working with.
Right.
That's pretty wonderful, because when you look at the figures, that can make a huge difference when you're not paying it on every transaction.
Huge difference, yeah. In some cases,
if I make $1 million a year, I'm the one creating the relationship. Technically, and it's just my belief, but technically I believe that the agent who's creating those relationships and moving those mountains and getting those deals done should be the one that holds the majority of the money.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And it's interesting to watch as people do the numbers themselves, and they're like, so I'm at a 50-50. I wrote $1 million last year. Wait, that means I paid $500,000 to work.
And then some, for a desk and a chair and a brand and a receptionist and a printer, maybe, because a lot of them are going to pay for their own printing too.
Oh my goodness, it's just amazing. So yeah, the traditional model is it's like what you'd say about the lottery. It's a tax on people that aren't good at math. Like well,
I just think that if I am going to give 50% of everything I earn away, there has to be some very, very powerful value add there.
Yeah.
What is that value add? So basically for me, unless they're giving me all of those relationships, I'm not willing to give you half.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so there's a different commission structure. That's one aspect of EXP, and
absolutely.
And
shares in the company, that's huge.
Oh, massive. That in itself is enough to give a person reason to look at the model.
Correct. If you went out to we'll just go back to a very traditional sort of sense. If you went and said, I want a higher split and I want shares or business ownership in the company.
Yeah.
They might laugh. They may consider.
Yeah, they may consider if you're writing $3 million in commission a year, they might consider it. But if you're the standard agent across Australia, 200,000, 250 a year, they're just going to be going, yeah, I'm busy. You know?
And what I also found, Rob, is a lot of the people who wanted me to buy into the business in terms of having some ownership,
Yep.
wanted upwards of $1 million.
That's not a lot. and probably no control either.
And yeah, and probably no control, but hey, we'll give you this lovely title that
Yes.
says director.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You know, it's nice. It's nice to have those titles for $1 million that say director. Craziness in the industry. Hey, I know that you're quite across. So EXP has a great commission split. They are, as we discussed, a horizontal organizational structure. In other words, we are basically a large flat plane of people buying, not buying, but selling, listing and selling properties, and just working with our clients. I know so many agents, when I talk to them, they say, look, I don't want to get involved in office politics. I don't want to do this. I just want to list and sell houses. Still a good platform for that?
Absolutely. We have the platform for that. It is, in my personal opinion, that platform that integrates with ARPI Data Core Logic, and you know, once you get to utilize that system the way it should be used, you can find so many leads. You don't need the lead generation done or given to you per se, and give up a lot of your money for that. Absolutely everything that you need to run your day-to-day business, EXP will provide for you.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people want, I had this the other day, give me everything I need to, he said, to put on my shiny shoes and to go out and get the deals done.
Yeah.
We absolutely do. But it even gets better than that. And again, one of the reasons that I was really drawn to EXP is looking further on to the future, looking at my retirement, looking at how can I create something that's ongoing, that's lasting, that I can continue to create, work at, and that's revenue share. How many other companies are going to offer you, not the dollars that the agent works for, but company dollars?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah. And so if someone doesn't know about revenue share that happens to be seeing this video, just explain to us what that is very briefly. I mean, we could talk about it for 2 hours, but.
We really could. The brief, and I'm good at brief, the brief component to it is you will naturally love working at EXP, so you will naturally share that experience with other people within the industry, because quite often we know other people in the industry are our friends, are our colleagues, are people that we know. You automatically share that story. Now, if those people wanted to come on board and wanted to be a part of EXP as well, they can absolutely do so. The best part about that is not only do you get to help change that person's life, business and lifestyle, but actually you get to earn money on that as well.
Okay.
Even better than that, it actually goes 7 levels deep, but we don't have time for 2 hour talk about it.
So I know I've heard other agents when they're discussing revenue share. In Australia, the career path for a lot of agents has been start in real estate, work really well, don't spend all your money, maybe buy an investment property, 2 or 3, build up a nest egg, maybe start your own brand or get a franchise, get a brick and mortar office, start a property management division, manage all the staff involved with that, hire and fire property managers, deal with angry landlords and tenants on the weekend because the property manager is not getting back to them, for the opportunity of potentially selling that rent roll you've grown for a profit. And with EXP, we're just going to put all of that to the side.
is actually, that's all doable. However, it almost makes it better, because and particularly where we're at right now in the world and the challenges that have been presented over the past couple of months, we all now know that it's doable to not have a brick and mortar office, and that people are still listening.
Everybody's working from home. No one's died.
They're all working from home. They're all still selling property. So after this, now they've really proven it to themselves. So why would I want to spend $350,000, $400,000 a year of my profit on that bricks and mortar office when I can actually have all of that anyway?
Yeah. And so I suppose what I was saying about the property management side is that with the revenue share, and we haven't talked about it yet, but with the stock awards and all that kind of stuff that we can develop just automatically with the EXP model, you don't have to be taking calls from tenants at 10 o'clock at night saying, hey, I locked myself out and I can't get a hold of my property manager, or coming to work on a Monday and your whole property management team has just migrated to another brand and you weren't aware that they were even unhappy. You know, you don't have to worry about that stuff.
You don't. And you don't have to worry about the office politics, which I'm going to be honest is something that I don't miss after 3.5 years of working from home. And I've actually found less distraction. People will often say they get really distracted at home, but I personally found in the office I'd be tapped on the shoulder every 5 minutes to be asked a question, and I would lead myself astray.
It's very easy to do because
so I don't have that.
You don't want to, when you're in that traditional office setup, you've got, and you know, if you do a lot of real estate coaching or take a lot of real estate coaching, they'll talk about the office interrupters. And, you know, there are people that, you know, you're ready to make all your callbacks. You might have your headset on. You've got your list up. Somebody knocks on the door. Hey, how was your weekend? Hey, you want to grab a coffee? Oh, do you want to, you know, all this stuff. And, you know, and I've been working from home for the last 4 or 5 months now. And I'm just amazed at the amount of time that I actually have that I used to spend just in, I don't know, whatever you want to call idle chit chat, answering questions that we've already discussed 100 times.
Traveling to and from the office.
Yep. Well, just in that, for me, you know, that's an hour or 45 minutes to an hour a day more in my day. You know, so it's fantastic. Fantastic.
Do you know how good it is, Rob, to actually close off for the night? And the only thing you have to do is shut your laptop. That's it. There's no fighting traffic and traffic lights and a million other people that are trying to get home at the same time as you.
That's it.
Glorious. It's blissful.
But on the and what makes it even better is that when you do your job, there's no commute. You get paid more money. You can share the opportunity with other people, which builds an ongoing revenue stream. They give you stock for just selling houses and doing your job. And then they have a program. They have a program called the Icon Award.
Yeah, I was just going to bring up the Icon Award, which when you hit Icon Agent means you've paid basically nothing from your splits. What?
I know.
When I first heard it, I had to ask the person to sort of, well, can you go over that again? I'm not sure I really believe you.
Absolutely.
But aren't we so lucky that it is 2020 and we have all these options available to us?
Absolutely.
They didn't.
Absolutely. And I've talked to a few reps and they're like, yeah, we get it. No, I'm quite happy on my 50%. My boss has told me he's going to give me an extra 5% this year. And I'm thinking, well, that's great.
Like an extra 50?
Yeah. I know.
And then some.
One of our colleagues in America, Jay Kinder, says, if you're not interested or excited by the EXP model, you either haven't explored it enough or you didn't hear what was told to you the first time.
And yeah, I hear that. And I also think that sometimes people aren't quite ready.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people that I talk to that are on that 50-50, they might have a relationship outside of real estate where they know their director,
Yeah.
might be a personal friend.
Yeah.
They may feel
Loyalty is a
like
big
they're getting
thing
a lot
in
of
our brand,
value.
in our industry. Loyalty is a really good thing, and it's really, you know, it's an important. It shows integrity. Loyalty, I think, shows
Absolutely.
integrity. Um,
Absolutely.
and so I always admire people that are really loyal. You know, I mean, I was at my last place of employment for 11 years. Love the people there. Still love all the people there. And you know, it's just sometimes there's a better way. And you know,
I
I'm
agree.
sure there
I
was a
really
lot
do agree.
of, I'm sure there was a lot of
There is a
lonely
better way.
people that were driving horses and buggies when the car came along. they
It's like, for me personally, knowing
yeah,
what I know now and having the experiences I had over the past probably 5 years, to me, not exploring your options in real estate right now is like driving a horse and cart when you know that the Tesla exists.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
And that's cool. Just not gonna go very fast, very
Yeah.
far.
You'll still get there, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely you will. And there'll still be people that want to jump on the horse and cart too.
Yeah,
But mate, it's a Tesla.
yeah. No, that's fantastic. And so, how do you feel? I mean, like, obviously we're pioneers in Australia, you know, and you talk to somebody, or if you reach out to somebody and they have never heard of you or EXP before, they're kind of like, what? No, no thanks. You know, how do you feel being a pioneer in Australia?
I think the good thing is that I've already had experience that is similar to that.
Yeah,
And so it's not my first time, I guess, being a pioneer.
yeah,
I personally love it. And I think that if you look at what has happened in the US, what's happened in Canada, and what is happening right now in the UK, something like this as it was launching,
yeah,
so that I could be that pioneer, so that I could help make those decisions to make, to make the business amazing for other people,
yeah,
so that, because think about it, in 5 years from now, the cat's going to really be out of the bag.
yeah,
So a lot of people will have heard, a lot of people will know the story, and I think that it won't have lost its wow factor because it's still going to be wow, but you won't get as many people going, oh my gosh, shush and take my money,
yeah.
you
That's
know?
right. Start the car.
And so I love being a pioneer. I love building something. I love taking feedback on board from the agents who are already involved and going,
Yes.
oh, hey, we could do this, or we could do this, or we could slightly alter this, and this would plus X, Y, and Z. That's exciting for me.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel because the wheel's definitely already there. But
Yeah.
that's the exciting part for me. I love to be a pioneer. And so when people tell me, oh, I haven't heard of your company in Australia, I say, yet.
Yet.
But while I have you on the phone, can you just do a little Google search for me?
Yep.
Type in EXP. Yeah. And
Well, it's
off it
amazing to
goes.
me. When I was doing some research last week for something, and you look at those numbers, even in Canada and the United States, where EXP has been going for years. You know, in 2017, which was only 3 years ago, there were 5,000 agents attached to this brand. And
Yeah.
now we're a whisker away from 29,000 agents globally. that's phenomenal growth. That is phenomenal. And I guess, as I always say, success leaves clues. You know, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, they always say success leaves clues. So, you know, if you've grown by 24,000 people have put their hand up and said that's where the opportunity is, you have to look at it. You just have to look at it.
You have to at least explore it. I mean, it may be right for you. It may not be the right time for you. I always maintain that EXP is never wrong for anyone. It's just not the right time.
Exactly.
Potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's my motto. But I think that you have to at least have an open enough mind to explore the potential opportunities that are out there in the real estate market right now, because you could be out there missing out on a huge amount of money.
Oh, absolutely.
Leaving money on the table.
And with
You owe it to
2020,
your family and yourself.
with 2020 being kind of the year of the agent, where the agent is coming into their own, the individual agent is the face of the brand in their community. You know, it's always going to be agent name with company. It's not going to be company and whoever you send out. You know, like when I started, I worked for the real estate people in your neighborhood. And, you know, they were a great team there and still a great team, but it was the brand, as if we were a phone company or whatever. And whoever you send out will have the same skills. And now 18 years later, it's the name of the agent, and we don't really care. We assume a lot of things. So if you're practicing real estate in my area, I assume you can get my listings online. I assume you have a strategy to get it sold. But social proof tells me I want to work with you. And so this is a tremendous platform for that.
People will follow people. People will follow people. They have you'll know what it's like yourself, and take it out of a real estate context. You might have a plumber or a tradie kind of guy that comes over and does odd bits and pieces around the house for you.
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether he's gone from one brand to the next brand and he now runs his own brand. It's still the same mobile number that's in your phone, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And guess who you're calling, regardless of what brand he's currently running.
Every time it's Mark
or something done.
Every time it's I get my smartphone, I scroll through Mark the plumber. You know, like, I don't care where he's working. So yeah.
Because you're used to him, you know his stuff, you know he'll get there on time.
I know he'll show up, I know he'll fix it.
Yep. Done.
That's it.
I don't care where he's working. He's done it before, he'll do it again, he'll fix it. I know he will.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a couple questions. So if I'm an agent and I happen to see this video, someone shared it with me or whatnot, what's the process of migrating across? Because there's, I suppose, lots of different styles of people out there. There could be a business owner watching this. It could be a leader of a large team, or maybe someone that's got their own brand that really likes their own brand, or maybe they're commission only kind of a salesperson. What should someone do to take the next step?
There are a couple of really next steps, but because there are options, and like you say, you bring up big businesses, business owners, it might be an independent, it might be just a sole agent by themselves, might be an agent with 3 PAs, who knows? Everyone's different.
Yeah.
A number of things. You can, on our website, you can find out some information, expaustralia.com.au. You can reach out and you can actually fill in an inquiry form on there, which will trigger the person from your particular state to call you. And really, you can get the nuts and bolts out of that conversation and learn a lot more. You can also just go straight to the website and put in your application if you've done all of your homework and you really, really love this.
Yep.
And it will just take you through the steps. So there are a number of different ways, because we're all different people. I'm the type of personality that would probably just go straight to the website, fill in all my details and go, let's go.
Yeah. When are my signs going to be ready?
You might want to have a conversation about it, or 2 or 4, and I totally get why as well. It's your business and it's your future, and it's really important to discuss that, but it's important to look at the option and take that.
You hear so many people in America, if you listen to a few people being interviewed in America, and the only thing that you hear as far as a regret about coming to EXP is the only I've listened to is that, yeah, oh, I should have come earlier when I first heard about it, you know. Oh, so-and-so reached out to me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago. And I told them, I'm not interested. And now you see those people going, I'm an idiot.
I have one conversation, but again, my personality type.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Everybody's different, and just reach out. It's just a conversation. It doesn't mean that you have to sign on a dotted line somewhere. It just means that you have all the information to be able to make an informed decision about your life.
Absolutely. And I think for any of you out there watching this video, look into it. You know, I mean, look, you've got a great commission split. You've got $100,000 cap, which means after you've settled $100,000 in commission, you keep the rest. You've got stock awards that you get just for selling properties, and if you've built a team at all, when they sell a property, you get some stock awards. You got the revenue share. You can build a team globally. I mean, like I think that's one of the really interesting things is that in Australia, we've always thought about building a team or maybe an effective business unit, and you're all working hyper locally within the same suburb. With this model, you can build a team, and I can be in Perth. I can have agents in Melbourne. I could have an agent in Sydney. I could have an agent in the UK. I could have an agent in Florida. You know, like I can have an agent.
To Canada.
That's right.
All over the globe and expanding.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so it's just a fantastic opportunity. Hey, Emily, I know you're busy, busy lady. Thanks so much for your time. Any last thoughts for someone that's thinking about making a move to EXP?
Reach out, have the conversation, explore your options. You owe it to yourself and your family.
Excellent.
Mic drop.
Awesome. Hey guys, watching this video, I will include Emily's details at the end of this video. You can reach out to her, you can reach out to me or the person that shared this video with you, and have a great day, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video.